Hello and welcome to Moc Talk.
We're your hosts, Joe
and Daniel on NBR National Brick Radio. We're here in the Atlanta Brick Co. studio.
That's right.
Let's talk about some MOCs. We are joined today by our special guest, Alex, who is going to have a lovely MOC to talk about in our first
I would hope so.
That's right. And only a portion of your MOC, so we will get to that in
It's
just a minute.
true, only a portion.
It has been a minute since we have done Moc Talk, but it is back by popular demand. So we will be restarting this as part of the regular rotation amongst Joy of Building and before Tank Battles Season 2 starts, presumably some point in the spring. We don't have any information about that yet, but this is one of my more favorite live streams.
Definitely like
it's much more positive. It's much more engaging, much more wholesome. Is kind of what we're going for.
So if you're expecting cynical Daniel from the Morning Brick, you're not
gonna cut this. Is totally different Daniel. Totally different Daniel. So our very first segment that we do here on Moc Talk is a little segment we like to call My Own MOX, which is a little on the nose abbreviation there for a kind of Department of Redundancy department is what I always call it. That's right, because of course MOC stands for My Own Creations. Right. So on My Own MOX today, we are going to have our special guest, Alex, talk about his MOC that he brought in for us. So why don't you tell us about what you brought in today, Alex?
Yeah, so this is just a portion of a Minecraft Lego realistic Savannah village.
Nice.
So this is the lava pit and the so far non-existent blacksmith shop that's going to be on top of it. It will be there with kind of a path in front of it. So mostly the main part of this, and probably the thing that draws people in is because the lights of the lava pit.
Nice.
It's on one end, whereas on the other side there's lights reflecting on water. So
pretty sick.
You've got lights on both sides. So this is the main part that I built. Was doing the lights first, making sure that could work and everything. And once I knew that could work, it's everything else seemed a little bit easier.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you've kind of let me on a little bit of information. You designed this in Minecraft first, right?
I did, yeah.
That's very smart.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize Cheesy Studios also did that. And then it's like, oh, that's, yeah.
It makes sense, right? It's like the same ratio, so it's not that difficult.
Yeah, it really saves on pieces and time, which has been really different from different, I haven't had as much MOC experience, but I know that's definitely been a big difference from this one compared to
nice.
I'm
going to throw up a couple. Here's the full layout.
Yeah, you can see the full layout.
Alex has so far. So you've got the water on the left side there, which lights up, and then you weren't quite as far along with the lava when you took this picture, but now that's got all the lights.
Yeah.
And then, but that you can kind of see the other half that's not with us here today on the table, which is the villager houses as well as the garden and stuff. It looks great. Every time you've shown me the updates, it looks great. The one thing you can't really see from this picture is the tree. And how you did that,
it's
the ancient tree.
Yeah,
it's
like
because
they
like to go all over
jog
the place.
over,
So really wanted to grass.
And then we also have a picture here with the water lit up there as well.
Yeah, the lights, especially when the lights dim down, really good. It really pops.
And you will be displaying this at Atlanta BrickCon.
Yeah, it's the first time I'm showing anything, so feel free to come by and check it out in person. Feels like you're in Minecraft. This isn't one you see very often because things like these grass stems are several dollars each.
Yeah,
and they didn't ever create a 2x2 olive green tile, so I've had to use 2x4 along with the jumper version.
That helps a lot.
And, different things. I can show you kind of some behind the scenes of the light.
Oh gosh,
right here.
It's modular.
Yeah, that's great.
And then you can see the
whole light set up there. Yeah,
see the light. I had to wrap. There's a lot of lights there. I had to wrap it to
a lot of extra in there.
Yeah.
And for the blacksmith shop, there's a little spot where they get their own lava at. So I put up some of the lights to there.
I noticed you had set one
and then so that'll also
that's really nice.
Great.
I like that.
Just had to kind of put underneath.
Yeah, I also like that you've put pin connections on every side so that if you wanted to expand this in the future, you could.
That's what I thought. That's the nice thing about the Minecraft build.
Right. They're very modular. Yeah.
You can do.
And 360 around, you finish the sides. There's
I did that. That's one difference I do, just because it's kind of honestly tried in different spots, and you just never know. So
you're going to
prefer to see
make
that.
it
Yeah,
modular.
When I see a MOC artist do a complete, like if you look all the way around, it's not like, oh, that's cool from the front, and you look at the back and you're like, that's a lot of colors.
Yeah.
It's like, I get it. It's hard sometimes, but when you put the work in to make it all the way around it.
Right.
It's much
It's
better.
fine for taking pictures usually, but when you take it to
Yeah.
a convention, you can typically see
You
the
can see
bags
the
of
whole thing,
MOCs
right.
if you're on the opposite side.
Yeah.
Just a couple other things I noticed that I really like that you did here. You've got the lava sitting one plate below, as well as the path blocks, which is very
It's
accurate,
true.
Yeah.
to Minecraft. And then of course I love your choice of animals and minifigures here. You've got the new armadillo
Those are
pictures.
so
I was so happy when I
Armadillo
saw that. I was like, this is
Yeah.
perfect timing.
Yeah.
For the convention.
Because those just came out. Was that January 1st?
It was.
Yeah, that's so great.
Nice.
It
Excellent
saved my-
addition. Excellent addition. Great work, Alex. I'm glad you're able to bring
Yeah, I
it.
hope everybody enjoys
Yeah.
it, and I hope you get to come see it in person.
Yeah, that's true. You're going to be at Atlanta BrickCon. You can come see Alex's table.
I'm looking forward to you making more modules for this in the future as well.
It's been a lot of fun, especially the villages. So
Got a couple good comments here. Wild Builds is excited that Moc Talk is back.
It's back. We're back, baby.
And Morgan had a good comment. Minecraft is basically virtual Lego. Lego then makes Minecraft sets, and now Minecraft is
So
used to
true.
design Lego
Yeah.
sets.
That's
Yeah,
right.
it's so nice that the pieces are basically one-to-one because the tiles are smaller, but then they also have all these coverings like the grass and
Right.
the different carpets
Yeah.
you can put down.
That's the
So they
thing
look
about the
realistic.
Minecraft sets is to try and save on pieces a little bit.
Mhm.
They'll just do like a 2x2 brick with a tile on top of it or something,
Right.
which is not really a cube because 2 bricks wide is 5 bricks tall. So
that's absolutely right.
it looks a little bit like it's been compressed in
Yeah.
the let's see, I would say z-axis, but I think in Minecraft it's actually what the y-axis is the vertical
Right.
line, which doesn't really make sense to me, but that's the way it's always been.
Yeah.
Anyway, so thank you, Alex, for bringing
Yeah,
that in
for sure.
Yeah, of course.
as well. I see. Have you had any problems with like dark or with reddish brown breaking while you've been building?
That many reddish brown plates have been sacrificed.
It was
I also noticed you're using dark red for filler
Yeah.
brick. That's another
dangerous
choice there.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
I'm
sure.
running out of pieces.
No,
but-
fair enough.
Excellent. Well, thank you for bringing that in.
Yeah, of course.
Something else we have on my own MOX is something else that I have been working on in my time, which is my submission for the Neo Atlanta / New Hashima collab, which will be at Atlanta BrickCon as well. I
Nice.
showed some of these pictures off on the morning brick
Mhm.
this week, but I figured I would include them here as well, as it's a little more relevant and maybe break down some of my techniques as well. So. Okay, here's a fun one in this one. So over top of these dark orange pipes here, there's sort of an oval shaped window that I have. It's actually one of the old, it's either Scala or Belleville. It's one of the like big 4x4 cabinet pieces that you would put a sink in the top
Oh,
of.
and you flipped
There's
this
oval sinks, so it's facing forwards, and then I put a window pane inside of it from the office set. That
Yeah,
has like the
crooked
blinds sticker on
That's
it.
true.
I need to get a light in there so it highlights it a little bit
Yeah,
more. I was still
that'd be
kind of
good.
just sketch building out the top of this structure here, but some other fun parts I included there are the like ring pieces from Sonic. I got some of those in the new reddish orange. I want to say that was from like
Oh,
the
nice. I
family
see it, yeah.
tree set or
Gotcha.
something like that, but it's kind of
Oh,
fun
actually,
way to
that's what's
highlight
holding up the. I see.
yeah, it's behind
the
each of those
signs.
letters.
Nice.
Sort of an interesting connection there.
All right, very cool. And there's some lights here as well.
Yep,
Yeah,
over here, been doing a lot of lighting work. One of the other techniques over here I was happy with was I took another one of those dark orange big pipe segments, and you can see it over the door here coming out of the wall. And then it's got like a exhaust fan kind of built inside of it, and then these sort of macaroni curved slopes sort of around it, kind of framing it in. I was pretty pleased with how that came together. And then one other thing, which is pretty small in this picture, you can't see it super well, but sort of on the bottom right where there's like a hose coming out of the wall, I have these dark orange 2x2 turntable bases, but inside of them I have the I think it was from gosh, one of the flyers. I think it was one of the Bionicle flyers. They're like these little yellow pieces that are like a gear with like a hexagon on the top.
Oh
And I
yeah.
have the hexagonal part kind of embedded in that turntable base, and so it looks like something you would put like a key in to like turn it to
very
open up the water
Yeah,
valve to
yeah.
let the water out. So you
Yeah,
can't see it super
there,
great there,
yeah.
but yeah, it's inside there. So one of them has that yellow hexagonal piece inside of it,
That's cool.
and the other one has
Has
one of
the
those
key.
like
Clockwork.
yeah, it's like a wind up toy key
Yeah,
kind of piece.
that's cool.
So some fun little techniques I was able to work in.
Yeah, thanks for sharing how you're doing it as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. We like to cover techniques and things as well on here on Moc Talk. And then this is my sort of industrial chimney that I'm working on as well. Just last night I started making it taller, so it's going to be at least 3 or 4 times this tall. But
Very
doing
nice.
kind of round and octagonal shapes is always
Yeah.
a little tricky. I was originally going for round with trying to like clip all those tiles
Yeah.
to like different, like I've seen people use like the wagon wheels before, or like the Technic kind of pulley flywheels, but it's no matter what I did, it was just really fragile. So I'm trying this kind of stacked, more octagonal.
I like it. It gives it a more a rugged feel to it.
Yeah. Not to say I only prefer legal techniques, but I prefer at least more sturdy.
Yeah, so you don't want to set it up there and then it just goes.
Exactly. Or I have to transport this to Atlanta, so even if I bubble wrapped it, they probably would have been falling off.
Right.
So
Right.
hopefully this will be a little more robust.
I like this one here. I loved what you did with the windows.
Yeah, I actually just got a Bricklink order today for the rest of the 1x2x5 satin trans blue bricks that I will need to put behind the rest of those windows to give them that really cool kind of glow effect. And then, of course, mixing in the different window pane colors. You get some transparent yellow, some transparent green. I even have a few of the satin trans. I guess it's now satin trans brown. The ones that came in like the Mickey Mouse film set, kind of those window panes. So all sort of making them look like sort of a hodgepodge of different window panes, and some of them are maybe dirtier than others.
Right.
Gives it a little bit of a weathered effect. So anyway, that's what I'm working on. So Joe, how about you? What box are you working on, Joe?
I'm here to run the stream.
Oh, okay, all right.
I'm the technical guy. I really wish I had more MOX time, but it's really parts that I don't have. I got to get the parts, but I do want to do more for sure.
But hey, you can come in during happy hour and get a pick-a-brick
for $30
from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m.
Right.
A $30.
Good point.
All right.
Right after my shift too.
Enough shameless plugs. All right, we will move on to our next segment, which is lovingly called the Untitled News segment. It took us a while to craft that title.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, exactly. So on our Untitled News segment, we talk about sort of more popular MOCs that have been featured on various different accounts lately. You might see some from Instagram, some from Flickr, some from other places, but these are ones that have been featured by lots of different, maybe larger accounts, and sort of permeated the mainstream here, as well as just some ones that we liked and wanted to show off. So our first submission here for the Untitled News segment is going to be a MOC of Liminal Space. It's called Liminal Spaces. And this is by a user on Instagram called Panota1. So you can go check them out on Instagram. And there's a lot of things that I really like about this.
This is so cool.
Yeah. So the biggest reason I wanted to feature this one is it's not only like a cool MOC in the way that they've built things, but they're capturing like a feeling or an emotion. Liminal Space is something that became popular within probably the last 5 or 10 years. It kind of became like an internet meme as well, but it's like the back rooms, or like these spaces that give you kind of an uneasy but also kind of nostalgic feeling. So the way that this builder has been able to kind of capture that emotional and sort of kind of visceral response really is sort of an interesting thing that you don't see a lot in MOCs. So how about you guys? What do you like about this one? Joe?
Some of the part usage in this, especially I think are this the Mindstorm balls? Near the back and the tour. It's so hard to use those.
Yeah, MOC.
So they're perfect for this. They look like those big sort of inflatable balls. And then the Duplo tubes as well, and the rainbow colors are perfect. And I really like the way they did the sort of foam like puzzle piece.
That's my favorite part. Yeah,
on the floor, those are great.
I used to play with those so much, and those are fun. You could play with those for hours. But the way they incorporated it, and then also the arrows into the floor. There's so many parts in this.
Yeah, there's a lot to look at here. It's deceptively large too. If you look at the ceiling, those are 2x2 tiles, not 1x1 tiles.
Big.
This is a large thing. Those Duplo tubes and balls are very large pieces. But the biggest thing I wanted to talk about here was that kind of liminal space feeling. Sort of, it's very closed in the way the ceiling is, and there's very limited lighting. There's very few windows in the sides letting lighting in. So it's a very this person clearly put a lot of effort into capturing that feeling, as well as the actual techniques that went into the build. So there you go. That is our first submission for the Untitled News segment. Our next one is going to be Dr. Robotics Excruciator. And this is going to be by the builder Zane Builds on Instagram.
So you can go check Best Mecha Creation.
That's right. Yeah, I made sure to get that picture in there. So they took this to Brick World Chicago this year and brought home some hardware. So I think if we switch to some of the other ones,
this is
more of a clear.
Very cool.
Oh yeah, that's much bigger than I looked at.
Yeah, this is crazy. I mean, it's Eggman's face on a mech.
Yeah.
The scale is so good.
Great parts usage in here as well. We've got the chrome Rock Raiders drills there on the.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Man, this is so even A small little detail is all of his legs have pierced the ground a little bit. Like that's something that he had to take the time to make sure that works, but also keeping it in the style of the whole landscape being the lines across, keeping it the same thing as the Sonic, what is it, the Green Hill set or whatever that is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a very simple landscape, but it's at the scale that he's built it at, it's very parts intensive. Some nice techniques in there too. Even though it's simple, the waterfall.
I was about to say that waterfall looks amazing, but not only that, the trees are very intricate. Yeah, with those, I mean, simple parts usage.
There's lots of builders who build big mechs, but to put so many parts invested in building a landscape to go with it, I'm sure is what won them the award, which is awesome.
It's still so crazy to look at, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
the way they got like the glint on the glasses as well, and the humongous mustache.
There's a nice background there. I'm sure they threw in there.
Yeah, I think this was the first photo on their Instagram post, which again is cool because it's primarily focusing on the mech and actually minimizing the landscape. Right, looking along it, which is not really doing it justice with the amount of parts that are doing it. Yeah, but it's all there to support the actual mech itself, which is fantastic. So
yeah.
All right,
Sonic's doomed, man.
Yeah, that is the Dr. Robotics Excruciator by Zane Builds.
Fantastic.
Next up, we have a couple builds by the same builder. This is the Brainworm by a user called, not quite sure how to pronounce it, but there it is on screen. You can go check them out on Instagram as well. I just really like this. So this user has a number of kind of smaller builds, but all using really interesting pieces. So this one here is using primarily those sort of macaroni pieces that came about mostly with Lego Dreams, and then that new brain piece. It's also
I think it's also Dreams. I believe some of the newer sets.
Pretty cool. So this is the Brainworm, and then if you go to the other one that they have, this is the one I really wanted to show off. This is the Probe.
Oh, this is video pieces.
No, not video. Do you have a second guess?
Oh, wait, what's the other thing?
Second, it's much older than that. These are both older themes, older long defunct themes.
Yeah, it's very similar.
So those are
Clickets?
Clickets pieces, yes. And the legs are all Snap.
Wow, that's impressive, man.
Yeah,
that is. Yeah,
I'm sure there are some
pieces.
more modern either system or Technic parts in here, maybe to make some of those connections. But primarily Snap
like Lego.
Clickets.
Yeah, it just doesn't look like Lego when you look at it. Yeah, it just looks like a model.
Alex, have you ever experimented with using any Snap Clickets or other obscure defunct building systems?
Not yet, but I feel like it's in my future. So
yeah, it's impressive.
It was fun too, though.
There are a few popular builders who tend to repeat build with things like Galador parts. I know Will Hafner is one who usually does Galador builds. So it's always cool to see those like totally different Lego building systems that aren't even around anymore used for really high quality MOCs as well. All right, and then our last build today, actually another one from Sonic. This one is Shadow the Hedgehog. Pop over here, and
it's better than the Legos.
Yes. So this was by Hachiroku92, a popular user on Instagram, and he built a body to go with the head for Shadow the Hedgehog.
Definitely makes it so much better.
It does make it better.
I think so too. So the head, of course, is just the set, but building a full body to go with it is really really cool. The way that they've achieved that at that scale, using lots of interesting different pieces like those 3x3 round kind of Technic wheels, I think, for the legs, to get the right size. Because for a long time there haven't been a lot of 3x3 Lego pieces. We were actually just talking about that the other day because of that Mrs. Puff thing.
Yeah, we figured out the Mrs. Puff skirt piece and the ice cream guy from the Lego movie are the same size, so you can take the ice cream guy's head and put it on her, and it looks so funny. It looks so funny.
But yeah, it was cool. Cool to see that this guy built a full body for
and even decided to get all fancy and threw in a ring using those. What size is that? Is that 4x4?
That's the 3x3 sort of curved slope. Those are actually the same size I was talking about on my build that were around that vent over the door. Yeah, they're that kind of curved slope piece.
I wonder the stability of the figure. Yeah, it looks to be pretty stable there on its own.
It's hard to say. If you like poke it, does it just crumble or?
If you go to their Instagram page and watch it, this was actually part of a reel, so he was sort of building it in the video. So it seemed like it was pretty stable, but
pretty fancy.
Yeah, definitely interesting. All right, that does it for our Untitled News segment. Who do we have in the chat today, Joe?
Yeah, let's. We got quite a few people here. We had 501st Bricks, first one there. Happy Thursday.
Hey, how's it going, 501st?
Rob Claxton, Morgan, Beautiful Man, which I
said Moc Talk.
I do believe that is Ethan.
That's right.
Wild Bricks is here. And then lots of comments. Grumpy J, where's Tank Battles at? It's coming at some point.
I know. We may be doing some off-season pickup.
Yeah, we'll
games
probably
here.
do some fun ones. Just no season yet. Fall Equinox is here. Click it. Yeah, I know. Isn't that
That's
crazy?
right. You got it on.
BP, I rarely catch anything live. Hi from England.
Hey,
Thank you for joining.
Thanks for tuning in. We try and have
Yes.
different live streams at different times, so I'm glad this one worked for you.
Snap made an appearance. Indeed, crazy. I wonder how the leg. Yeah, it is a very subtle angle,
There
but
must be some ball jokes in there.
either that
Yeah.
or because it's those 3x3 Technic pieces, maybe a hose ran through it as well.
Could be. Yeah, could be.
Brick Mom VA is also here.
How's it going? How's it going?
So thank you all for tuning in and watching. We appreciate it. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
That's right. All right, our next segment today is one we call Blast from the Past. So this is one where we feature, So this is one where we feature some older builds, typically from Flickr specifically, where a lot of LEGO mock builders originated. I had a Flickr account, but there is nothing on there worth seeing or worth showing. It is all
I see it.
used to go so bad. I'm not even gonna say it.
Yeah, I remember you had
It's so bad.
line of Lord of the Rings.
Oh, they're bad.
I see you.
Oh, they're real bad. They're real bad. But
You
everybody
have come
starts.
a long way.
Everybody starts somewhere.
Right.
Somewhere.
Maybe Sunday. Maybe for the 100th episode of Moc
We'll
Talk,
do Daniel's
we can see
Blast from the
Daniel's
Past.
old Flickr account with awful old builds.
Oh man.
But that's right. Everybody starts somewhere. So I keep it. I've never deleted the account because I keep it as a benchmark so I can know where I've come from.
Right. Whenever you're disappointed in a build, look back.
That's right. That's right. So first up for our blast from the past, we have a build by a individual named let's see, Eloy Parizeau. I'm sure I've pronounced that incorrectly, but this is a cool sort of vintage gas pump. And I really like it when people sort of build real world objects at this kind of more realistic looking scale.
Yeah, this is huge.
It's very tall. Yes,
the
this is
first
probably
thing I
2
noticed
feet tall.
Is that Captain America shield in the middle, and that is from not the
buildable figure.
Buildable, the buildable, not the mech, but the buildable figure that came first. And that's a bigger size. I don't remember if it's 6x6 or 8x8, but that's a big gas tank.
Yeah, it's great.
The lettering is impressive.
They have branded this with Octane written in lettering.
You got
but
it.
is, I think clearly inspired more by Shell.
Yeah.
So you can see sort of in that yellow section, they've used some of those pearl gold sort of wing pieces that I think were probably first used on like a Pegasus horse or something.
In
Chima or something. In Elves was the first usage. Okay. And then that sort of Shell modified blade piece there above it, also in pearl gold. So very nice techniques there. I always love to see a very clean, polished build here, and this is certainly that. So
yeah, pretty impressive.
Excellent one there. That one was about 2 years old, so not a super recent build. That's why this is Blast from the Past. And then our second one here for Blast from the Past is by Nanan Zhang, and also known as NananZ_creations on Instagram. So this one came from Flickr. It might have been this one was from 2019.
I don't know,
a little bit older.
6 years ago.
Yeah, now 6 years. Yeah, so
Crazy.
pretty old, but crazy to think that those triangular tiles.
Are
I seen that?
Those are so new.
And I was thinking like, oh, this can't be that old, but then it said it was from 2019.
That happens with parts all the time, man.
Yeah, yeah. But this is a lovely sort of kind of southwestern style house here, but really nice. Another very polished build. Lots of curved slopes, curved.
It's just very satisfying.
Very clean, very polished angles. Love to see this style of building. You see the way the trim by the garage doors kind of up. And
I'm just staring at that.
over.
That's my favorite thing to look at on
this. And then there's lots of nice little small details. There's a little cactus sitting on this sort of half wheel that's actually like one of the bevel gears in green with a little pink flower stuck in the top of it. And then up on the porch there, kind of on the upper left, there's some other nice details there with other little flower pots and sculptures and things. So lots of nice little parts usage. I just really love medium nougat as a color too. We built a commission for somebody that was a house out of medium nougat.
You will
I feel like anything you build out of that color just has a really nice quality to it.
Yeah.
It's a more muted color, but it's very rich. I don't know.
And is that one of the colors you've been using in the houses?
Actually not. No, dark orange.
That's it. That's dark orange, which is also a very pleasing color. Yeah.
For the wood on the roofs and stuff, the acacia wood.
But Minecraft loves to use this color.
Yeah.
For what they use, fences, wood, stuff.
That's true. That's very accurate to the Minecraft color.
Absolutely. Awesome. Glad to see it. All right, and our final segment here is our Superfan Showcase. Oh, actually, go to.
Yes.
No, actually, sorry, banners, and I forgot to tell you. Here, put that up. Put that up. There you go.
Do-do.
So for our Superfan Showcase, this is where we show off builds that you all, our viewers, have submitted to us. So our first and only submission today for the Superfan
Trying
Showcase.
to point at it.
Are you trying to
It's running-
follow
it's running away.
No,
it's
now
going
it's over
back
here. No, it's going that way. Yeah, all right.
Here it is.
Losing battle.
So that is how you can submit, and we will talk more about that later. But for now, our first and only submission for this week's Superfan Showcase is the Man-Eating Wreath. Get those pictures up.
Yep.
This is by Nick Atkinson. This is something from Nightmare Before Christmas. And Nick Atkinson submitted this to us to display here on Moc Talk. So this is the Man-Eating Wreath from Nightmare Before Christmas, and this has some really nice techniques in it. So obviously, ton of the palm tree leaves, both in green and dark green, with some nice little berries mixed in. I can't imagine what the interior structure is for this to hold all those on there. But you got the eyes up top as well. Those are all snot brick built, but look very,
there they are. They're
very
real
clean
close
and
now.
polished.
He's
So
looking right at you, man. I mean, you
Yeah.
can feel him staring.
very well polished. Like those eyes up there, as well as the giant teeth in the middle.
Yeah,
of
the
the
teeth.
wreath.
That's very impressive.
I think those are those. That's a pretty
That
old
like
piece.
rubbery piece.
Yeah, it's like plastic on one end and sort of rubber on the other.
Well, they
want to
brought it back for Bear Door.
Yep, it has
Yes,
been
it's
around
gonna have its
for a while.
longer sets as well.
Yeah, so it's been
Surprisingly, it's survived. for a
Yeah,
long
it
time.
has.
I want to say one of the first things it was in was maybe Exoforce or like
Yeah,
Bionic or Hero Factor or something like that.
It's such
Power
it's such an
miners,
interesting
just a
part.
thing.
Yeah, Power Miners for sure. Yeah,
Such a good part.
yeah. It's. I'm glad they've kept that part around. It's definitely very unique getting that
Right.
very sharp angle because Lego doesn't like doing sharp
Yeah.
things, so they gave it that soft rubber tip. And then even the bow down here on the bottom has a lot of nice detail in it. The way the different curved slopes and structures give it
Texture.
nice texture. Exactly, Alex. Yeah. So very well done by Nick Atkinson. So since we haven't done this one in a while, that is one of the only ones we had this week for our Superfan Showcase. But we definitely want you all to submit mock talks to be submit pictures of your mocks to be featured here on Moc Talk. So down in that banner down there, you can send it to media@atlbrick.com, and we will make sure to get those, and we will review them, and we will let you know if we're going to feature them, and then we will get them here into Moc Talk. So that is going to do it here today for our Moc Talk live stream. So be sure to submit mocks for the next time. Be sure to like this live stream if you've not done so already. It really helps us out, really supports us, lets you know that you like this particular live stream and content that we do, so we know which types of videos and things you like so that we can continue to do them. And if you think somebody that you know or somebody else in the LEGO community would like this type of content, send it over to them. Share the link. Go down and copy this link, send it to your friend and say, hey, I think you'd like this stream. Or you can do that with any of our other live streams or videos. That's the other great way to get the word out about the content that we're making here at Atlanta Brick Co. So you could share it to a friend, you could share it on social media, and it would really help us out. So thank you all for joining us today for Moc Talk.
And thank you, Alex, for joining us.
Thank you, Alex.
Yeah,
That's right.
let me
For
join
bringing your mock in
everyone.
as well and getting some pictures on there. I'm really looking forward to seeing the full finished mock.
Yeah, I can't wait to see yours.
Yeah, once again, both of these mocks we talked about on here, while they're unfinished now, they'll be finished and at Atlanta BrickCon. So
That's
if you're
right.
able to
the
make
plan. That's the plan.
That
Right,
is
always
to
the plan.
be, let's see, what is it? February, is it 8th
8th and 9th?
Yeah.
February 8th and 9th at the Gas South Convention Center up in Duluth, Georgia. So if you're anywhere near the area, this is a rapidly growing convention.
Yeah.
It has expanded by one convention hall every single year.
every
We're up to
year.
3 halls, and they can only get a maximum of 4. So we're pushing for 4 halls next year. We'll see if we can fill it. So be
And of
sure
course,
to get your tickets now.
The store will have a booth there, so we'll be selling stuff, but we'll be selling stuff we haven't sold before at conventions, which is our cups, but also our hats.
These great hats.
Yeah, so I know you guys were all asking about that. These will be at the convention if they don't sell out.
That's right.
Oh, we'll make more.
That's right. So thank you all for joining us for Moc Talk. And as we sign off here, Moc Talk is made possible in part by viewers like you. Thank you. Bye-bye, everybody.
Awesome. Great to meet you.